Okay, we're back. So this is kind of ironic that a Umineko lore video was requested. I was planning on doing one eventually. I just was trying to finish my other videos up, but there was one planned. But hey, we'll get right to it. I do requests take top priority with me. So unfortunately, I do have a couple things to do, have some IRL shit to do. So I'm just gonna get this started, but I pretty much know what I'm gonna actually talk about. So let's get cooking. It's actually kind of hilarious. Like, I was actually planning on doing a Umineko lore video. I just wanted to finish some stuff up first, but we'll get right to it. All right, so this one's gonna be a little bit different from the Rosa one. We're tackling different concepts this time. We're gonna be viewing things from a different angle, but we need to set up some guidelines first. But as mentioned, I got some IRL stuff to do, so I'll get this started. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be hot as fuck later in here, so I won't be working here in the afternoon. In that nighttime, I'll start working. So my next two projects that I'm working on that horror one, and I'm working on this one on top of Golden Sun. So that's my three projects that are currently I'm working on: this, horror, and Golden Sun. Okay. I'll add more to this later, but those are the main things. I am not doing theories. I've been through that phase. No Shikanon and Yasu rabbit hole, because that's already all over the place. We're gonna focus on Battler as a whole. We're not going over episode lore. We're approaching things from a different perspective this time around. Okay. But I pretty much had an idea about how I wanted to approach this. I just wanted to take a little bit more time with it. But again, I was gonna be releasing a Umineko video eventually, but we'll do this just from the top of our head. So how do I want to do this? Battler. Battler's funny. He's a very funny character. Okay, let's start with an intro first. Again, this is just an outline. I always I don't do brainstorm streams anymore. I just do outline in script writing streams. When I was working out earlier, I was pretty much brainstorming during sets because I'm a fucking weirdo. I was like, let me just finish this work. Let me finish this bench pressing. Oh, I'm going to be doing this for the Battler video. Yeah, that's literally how it was for the past 2 hours. All right, let's go. All right, so 9 o'clock. So I'm going to try to finish this little portion by 9:30 at least, because again, I got to go take care of some stuff. Intro. Massive, the Skeptic. Okay, so we can do like a little tiny overview of Battler in a sense. Yeah, we'll do this. I really should have just jot that all down. Okay, Ushiromiya. Ushiromiya. Balor's not gonna be as hard as Rosa was. Rosa, I'm not gonna deny it. That one was pretty intense. Because Rosa is a extremely complex character. I'm not saying no Balor isn't a complex character himself. It's just Rosa has a lot of things. She has a lot of baggage. Let's just say that. Balor Ushiriyomiya versus confidence and skepticism and confidence. Confident logic. Logic as a mask. Not a. So, not out of. Intellectual superiority. It's kind of a defense mechanism. I talk aloud while I'm thinking, so if you just hear me just talking, yeah, I'm just really just thinking as I go, but loudly. So it's kind of a defense mechanism in a sense, but it's a defense mechanism. Shield himself. Shield himself. Just shield himself from. I'll touch more upon this later. Guilt and betrayal. Betrayal. Cannot. Confront. Balor Ushiriyomiya, where's the skepticism? Skepticism? Yikes. Skepticism. I hate my accent. Skepticism and confidence. Logic as a mask, not out of intellectual superiority, but as a defense mechanism to shield himself from deep emotional pain, guilt, and betrayal that he cannot directly confront. Well, again, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later. This video explores how its role as a detective. The thing is, it's not just regular truth, it's objective in a sense. This video explores how his role as a detective is less about uncovering objective truth. Ooh, okay. I'm thinking of some diabolical stuff right now. All right, this is gonna be a funny video. Okay, and more about performing. What do they always call him? Incompetent. Yep, we are gonna make this a funny one. All right. Because at the end of the day, Balor's a very good guy. Good guy. Keep his fragile heart safe. Revealing. Okay. Revealing. Emotional wounds. Hidden beneath the surface of his constant denial. Surface of his constant denial. His constant denial. This video explores how his role as detective is less about uncovering objective truth and more about performing a persona that keeps his fragile heart safe, revealing emotional wounds hidden beneath the surface of his constant denial. Okay, that's gonna be a very funny angle to write about. Now that I think about it, I should probably do a video on Black Battlers soon. Oh, that's a funny one. Umineko is just funny in general. There's a lot. I love it because of how complex their characters are. I'm not going to deny it. So the question is. So the question at the heart. Don't be surprised if I have to do what I did with the Rosa video for a friend. My psychologist buddy, I got him involved in Umineko, and he just like fell in love with it. He did way deeper dives than me. I'm like, God damn it, you just love this shit, don't you, dude? But yeah, like I might have to touch base with him on a couple of concepts that I want to introduce. I always especially when it comes like to the brain and psychology, I always I run my ideas by him just for actual fact checking, just for his expertise in the subject matter. Question at the heart of Battler's story. Battler's story is not. The question at the heart of the Battler's story is not. Not which is real. Not which is real. It's the question at the heart of Battler's story is not which is real. The biggest question I've always had for Battler, it's all right, but rather what truth is it? Is he so terrified to face? Wow. I'm not looking at my keyboard as I type, so I'm going off of straight up muscle memory. So if you see some crazy misspellings, that's just me being terrible at typing at times. Terrified to face that he must. That's actually a very interesting question. What are you so terrified to face that you always have to deny them? So what truth is he so terrified to face that he must deny it at every turn? Ooh, that's gonna be a funny one. The question at the heart of Battler's story is not our which is real, but rather what truth is he so terrified to face that he must deny it at every turn? That's gonna be funny to talk about. So, okay, I know exactly what I'm gonna do here. What I'm starting to do in some of my videos is introduce besides real world parallels, I'm starting to introduce some mythological parallels. I have some knowledge in regards to mythology, specifically Japanese and Greek mythology. Too much to damn God of War, and I'm a fucking weirdo. I'm a fucking weeb. No, I used to be a weeb. I've grown past that era of my life, but I still retained a lot of knowledge. But what the heck? Huh. My cat is making noise over there. I've gone past that part of my life, but I still retain some information from Japanese mythology and Greek mythology. So, I'm trying to introduce mythological parallels, which I have a feeling we can do this with this. We'll touch upon that later, though. So let me just write it down. So when I come back later on tonight, I could actually just do this. So, we will type into I swear to God, if I mention the Amdala, I'm gonna be so pissed. I mentioned the Amdala a lot, but I guarantee you I'm gonna probably have to mention the Amdala eventually. We dive into psychological concepts. Mythological parallels. Mythological parallel. I actually spelled it right this time. Oh my God. And symbolism, of course. And narrative symbolism. And narrative symbolism to understand battlers. To understand Battler's journey. Battler's journey from denial. Journey from denial. So sense. Isolation. Oh my God, I cannot spell right now. I actually cannot spell. So isolation to connection. Okay, so I think that's good for now. So knowing me and my introductions, that's gonna be so long. All right. So let's just go over this again. Guidelines for this video. No crazy theories. No chicane / Yasu rabbit hole. Focusing more on Battler as a whole. We aren't going to be doing episode lore. More so approach things from a different perspective. Okay. So the introduction. Battler Ushiromiya wears his skepticism and confidence logic as a mask, not out of intellectual superiority, but as a defense mechanism to shield himself from deep emotional pain, guilt and betrayal that he cannot directly confront. This video explores his role as detective. This video explores how his role as detective is less about uncovering objective truth and more about performing a persona that keeps his fragile heart safe, revealing emotional wounds hidden beneath the surface of his constant denial. Okay, that's good. The question at the heart of Battler's story is not which is real, but rather what truth is he so terrified to face that he must deny it at every turn. That one's gonna be a funny one. We will dive into psychological concepts, mythological parallels, and narrative symbolism to understand Battler's journey from denial to acceptance, and from isolation to connection. Okay. Okay. Just give me a moment. I gotta think about this, how I want to approach this. This one's gonna be easier than Rosa for sure, but I gotta make sure the section 1 is gonna set the pace for the rest of the outline. So let's see, how do I want to go about this? And as usual, like I woke up, got a notification, I got a comment on YouTube from the Rosa video. I'm like, oh, all right. I was planning on doing a Umineko video soon, but I guess I'll just do it now because I take requests are priority. So technically I'm doing this now, and I'm doing the horror video, the running away horror video is actually, I started script writing earlier because as soon as I woke up, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna come right into this. I gotta go check on that cat. Anyways, back to this. So we actually have to figure out where we're gonna go about this. So section 1. Let's do this. Section 1. Let's talk about him. Let's talk about his portrayal as a detective. We'll go from there. Section 1. Yeah, section 1. So the persona of the detective. Yeah, I like that. The persona of the detective. Persona of the detective. I cannot spell right now. So the persona of the detective. So let's see. Battlers. I'm putting this in quotation marks. Yes. As a detective. Gives him control and distance, sense of control and distance from his emotional reality, So in a sense, by focusing on puzzles, and logic, he avoids engaging with feelings of guilt and abandonment. I'll touch more upon that later. Abandonment. Adler's identity as a detective. Oops. Always proofread your stuff. Alright. Battler's identity as a detective gives him a sense of control and distance from his emotional reality. By focusing on puzzles and logic, he avoids engaging with feelings of guilt and abandonment. So, you can capitalize on that. So, this detective role functions like a stage performance, where he's the actor in the audience. Yep. Where Adler is actor in the audience. Okay. Okay, so why would I... Well, Battler is the actor in the audience. Alright. So, this creating a protective narrative that prevents painful truths from breaking through. Okay, that's good. I had to think about that for a second. Breaking through. Okay. Alright. Okay. Emotional truths. Script. Exposing his vulnerabilities. Vulnerable. His vulnerabilities. His resistance. Okay. Resistance. Okay. So I gotta read this again. So the persona of the detective. Ballard's identity as a detective gives him a sense of control and distance from his emotional reality. By focusing on puzzles and logic, he avoids engaging with feelings of guilt and abandonment. This detective role functions like a stage performance where Ballard is the actor in the audience, creating a protective narrative that prevents painful truths from breaking through. I have to try to tie in Goffman somehow. I'm gonna have to try to. I'm definitely gonna try to tie that in. I know there's a connection somewhere. I'm just thinking to myself, but I have to research that for later. Okay. Yet beneath this mask, emotional truths beckon, pulling him off script and exposing his vulnerabilities despite his resistance. Okay. So as mentioned, unfortunately, I do gotta go take care of some IRL stuff. I'll be back later tonight or probably the evening in order to stream because it's gonna be probably 90 degrees in here. It's relatively cool right now, but as soon as the noontime comes, it just gets unbearable in here, especially in the summertime. So good stuff. Thank you for the request. I was planning on doing a Umineko one eventually, so here we go. Be on the lookout for this stream, and I'll be doing the horror stream also because that's in script writing and this is in the outline phase. Other than that, good stuff. I'll see people later.